Okay, what I'm going to ask you to do to practice is draw a 10 by 12 room. And I want it this way. And so we've watched how to use the equipment. And the first thing that you're going to do is tape down your paper, because if you don't tape it down, it's going to move all over the place and your lines won't be straight. So even if it's Scotch tape, if you have painter's tape, that's best because it won't rip your paper. Get that tape down. And then never use the edge of the paper as any of your walls. Always move up into the paper before you draw. Hold your pencil here. Will make your lines lighter. If you hold it here, that'll make your lines darker and groove into the paper. So if you have to erase it, you'll still be able to see it, which you don't want. So hold it back here. I always draw just a light line. And then I'm going to take my scale. I'm going to go to my 1/4 inch equals 1 foot. Look about in the middle. Line it up with the line you just drew. Here's my 0. What did I say I wanted? 10 by 12. I'm going to do 12 this way. And you go, oh, that's really short. That's fine. It is really short. That is it. Line up your T-square, your triangle with the first dot, and again, draw a light line up that way on both sides. Then what you're going to do is you're going to again use your 1/4 inch equals 1 foot. Go back to that 12-foot line where your dot is and count up 10 feet. Remember, we are using the ones that start at 0 on this side and going to the 10 over here. These other numbers are for the other measurement on the other side. So 10 feet. Take your time. Don't rush. Understand what it is that you're doing. I didn't draw that line long enough. Put a dot there. I don't need to put one here, and I'll show you why. So now I can make this line darker, because when I go to do this 12-foot wall, I just line it up with this dot here, go across to my other 10-foot, and there you have it. And this is where you can darken in your lines. We are also going to put in a door, and I'm going to ask us to put the door into this bottom right corner. So I'm not necessarily wanting that line dark yet, but I can darken up that one. Hopefully you have templates. I can tell you the school never tells me when anything comes in, so I have no idea if they're in or not. I will call, but I don't know if they're in or not as of the time of making this. But your door, we're going to do 30 inches. That's 2.5 feet, which is an inside door. And that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to make a dark line here. That's my door. And then my swing line can be light. And it's going to go right there. And then you're going to get rid of this inside part because it's open. There's no wall there. So line means a wall. And if you look at the doors in your house, they are not smack up against the wall. There's trim and stuff, and they're a little bit farther out, so that's what I did. So now I can darken in this part of the wall. And there you have it. We're going to make a 6-inch wall thickness around. And how do I do that? That template. I am going to use my 1/4 inch scale. And I'm going to use the inches part of it. This part on this side, remember they talked about that in the video. And it's halfway because a foot is 12, half of a foot is 6. These are the math skills that you need to have in everyday life without having to go to your phone and use the calculator on it. You better know that half of 12 is 6. So I just made a dot, as you can see, and this allows me to just line up everything. Let's do this one first. Again, I'm doing it light so that I know where all of the lines are going to meet up. Oops, didn't do that one far enough out. Now this is where all your studs, insulation, electrical stuff, plumbing, and all that is inside that 6 inches. You have a 2x4, which really doesn't measure 2x4, but they call it a 2x4. Don't even get into why unless you're going to study this at a trade school or something. Now I'm going to go and darken them in. All right, let's say that this is a bedroom, since that's what we're going to do. I would never want to put the bed right here, right when I open the door. That's actually bad feng shui, and I wouldn't want to put it right across from the door because that has to do with energy flow. So I'm either going to put it on this wall or this wall or this wall. Let's say I'm going to put it on this wall, so I want a window over here. We looked at windows. What kind of window do you want? This is, this is 12 feet. Halfway is 6. So if I have a 4-foot window, like halfway through the wall, I go 2 feet that way, 2 feet this way. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. And it's going to be just a horizontal slider. So I'm going to draw that in. You can see my halfway mark. So you've got those 2 different panes of glass. They're going to cross over each other. That's how I would draw it. That's fine. That right there is perfectly fine. Then what you're going to do is you're going to put in your furniture. If you do not have templates, I hopefully have put some paper templates on Google Classroom for you to look at, and you can look at the dimensions of those and use those.